Let's go.
New Networks, new online radio station. WNB1 Radio broadcasting live 24/7. All music genres. WNB1 Radio, your urban music link.
Hey, welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. You are listening to WNB1 Radio, and I am here with a guest of honor, and it's Ken Levesque from Veterans Association of Bristol County. I am so happy to have him here. We were going to be on last week, then things happened, so we're here this week, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is going to be nice because anything veterans to me is just is something that's dear to my heart, and that goes through generations in my family that were veterans. Goes back, I think, as early as World War II.
Okay.
And World War II, and every war after that.
Yeah.
My family served. I was a few hours from joining and getting sworn in into the Army, but the New Bedford Police Department called me, and I stayed home.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I feel like everybody knows a veteran, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Everybody, in your family and such. So, I'm a Marine veteran myself. So
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Yeah. No. And now this is my chance to give back.
Hmm.
And that's what how I look at it as.
Okay. Now and the acronym is VABC.
Yeah.
All right. And you're out of Fall River, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So we're located in Fall River, but we do service veterans all over Bristol County.
That's nice.
As well as outside of Bristol County, because we believe that if there's a veteran in need, and we're there for them.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to turn anybody away. So we do have veterans coming from up north, Woonsocket area, Brockton area, outside of the Bristol County area.
Mm-hmm.
So
it makes sense. I mean, no one should be turned away.
Yeah.
Because of the service involved. And they might have been referred just word of mouth, or in transit, So that's very good that you do welcome everybody, and
absolutely,
it's real important. I'm going to make sure that our show is public on the social media. It should be on YouTube, actually, and Facebook. I want everyone to share this actually stream, because the more the more sharing you do, the more people we're able to reach. And you never know, your friends and family may need some services. And the VABC is definitely ready to help.
Yep, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about it.
The VABC, we were founded actually in 1987, so we've been around for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Started off with a group of Vietnam veterans that wanted to help other veterans with their VA claims.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it all started, and it morphed over the years. We've morphed into the beast that we are now. We have our monthly food pantry. We have our clothing trailer. We do a coffee social each day. We serve a hot lunch each day. Monday nights, we have a peer group. We do cookouts, like I had said. We have a health and wellness program where we do kayaking trips. I just purchased some bicycles to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we've grown exponentially into what we are now, just trying to serve the veterans their needs, what they need at the moment, and it just continues to grow.
All right. We have another guest, Waleem, the funky professor. All right. We got another guest coming on. He's going to be here to help us out. The one thing I do like about this is that you have social media, right? And as the veterans are transitioning from this, social media is that preferred way reaching out to people. I'm glad that I did see that. I did add it. So a lot of things that you have there on that social media, I'm gonna be sharing
Okay.
and
Awesome.
tagging
Yeah,
along.
thank you.
And,
Thank you so much.
I will in 2 weeks. I will be amongst a lot of veterans, friends of mine. So I'm gonna actually
Great.
share all this information. They're probably viewing us right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, we've within the last 6 months, I would say, I actually hired somebody. She's in charge of marketing and fundraising. So
Mhm.
that presence, getting out there, like you said, getting out, and she's done so much for us with just getting the word out. Like you said,
Yeah.
the social media is huge. Like it's funny. What did we do before social media?
Yeah,
Right?
it's
Like
true.
you forget, like, how did you run a business or anything like that before social media?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and she's just taken that role on and just, with all of the posts that she puts out, and it's just getting the word out, just spreading the word,
True.
who we are and what we do. That's what we try to do.
The let me see. I want to let's talk about a few things. The Sheroes.
Yeah, she wrote.
You said that happened what yesterday? You said.
Sunday was our
Sunday.
last Shiro's event. Yeah. So Shiro's is what we call our women veterans.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times they kind of get forgotten.
Yeah.
And I for me, my military service is totally different than theirs. I
Mhm.
can never ever put myself in their shoes and what they had to go through, right? So we try to give them the space and the time to be around other women
Mhm.
that understand what they've gone through.
Yes.
And it's healing for them just to be in the same room with 20 other women veterans,
Mhm.
right? So that's where we come into play. Shiro's, it's such a good time. We just did we did an ice cream social. We had lunch for them, and it's such a good time having them together. I had an aha moment. One of the events, I had a woman she's in the reserves right now, and she was sitting next to a Vietnam veteran, and they were sharing emails.
Mhm.
And I said, that's what it's about right there.
That
You know,
sure
and,
is.
and that was that aha moment for me.
Sure is.
That now they're connecting, and they have somebody to talk to if they need it,
Yeah. Exactly.
So
We have the funky professor here. Waleem is he's gonna come front and center and sit with us for a little bit. And I never asked. Waleem, are you a veteran? Oh, all right. Okay.
Most respect for him.
Yeah.
My father, grandfather.
Yep.
yeah.
My grandfather was a veteran of World War One.
Mhm.
My father of Korea,
Wow.
and
Very nice.
several
Awesome.
older cousins who were in Vietnam, and my peers who were in Desert Storm.
All right.
So,
Yeah. Well, thank you.
respect.
Thank you.
It's Ken
Your
Levesque
family. Yeah.
and
Yes.
Waleem.
Yes, very nice to meet you.
All right. We do a podcast, poetic conversations.
Mhm.
We talk about anything. It's like he says that poetic conversation is almost anything.
Mhm.
Talk about it,
Mhm.
and so that's what we'll be doing later.
Awesome.
When
That's great. Yeah.
that'll be our second podcast. So
Yeah. That's great. That's kind of like our peer group for the
Yeah.
veterans, right? They use that as an opportunity. It doesn't have to be anything deep.
mhm.
It could just be, hey, I got this kind of going on in my life right now, and and somebody else, hey, I had that same thing happen to me,
Mhm.
whatever 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This is kind of how I got over it, or how I handled it. So it doesn't have to be anything deep. It's just it gives them that space to be together,
Yeah.
right, with each other and talk.
I talked to Ken about if he had some veterans that are musicians at the center, kind of get you guys tied in together, and so the
The piece that ties to that, we're creating a community band.
Okay, great.
So we're looking for, and we originally were just thinking youth, and then realizing if you mix it up, this is now mixing up the experiences.
Absolutely.
And so,
Right.
you think about the fact that music is really very much, or the arts in general, is very much an apprentice
Mhm.
based kind of development where you have people of mixed experiences.
Right. Yeah.
Like one of the best examples would be you have John Coltrane, but John Coltrane became John Coltrane because of Cannonball Adderley. And having Cannonball
But-
Adderley
and-
sitting next to him in the band
Yep.
saying, nah, kid, you do it like this. No, kid, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
And right. Yeah. And everybody has their input
Yeah.
on making something. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We just bought 10 guitars and we're going to start up a music program.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something that we're very excited about. Yep.
The I like this. It says, from breaking barriers to provide the way for the future generations, women, veterans embody strength, resilience, and determination. They face challenges head on and forged paths of excellence in every branch of the armed forces. And I say that because my great aunts were in the service and kind of excluded being back then. It was two things, being African American and being female.
Yeah.
So it was pretty tough for them back then. They would, in fact, there's only one of them is alive now. So when she sees stuff like this, she's probably gleaming and
Yeah.
smiling from ear to ear because of how it's all evolved. And I mean, we had Michaela Brittle, who's from the Marine Corps.
Michaela,
She's
yeah.
She
I
was
know
here.
Michaela really well.
Yeah, see that? So
Yeah.
so that just goes to show the type of people that WMB1 Radio
Yeah.
has. And Michaela, and you guys are a few miles away from each other, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I there's something about taking care of your own, and I know she does it, and I'm definitely seeing
She's
that
a
you
Marine
do it.
too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so we got a special bond.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. Yep.
Definitely. So the I really truly want to do all I can for you.
Appreciate that.
And I'm gonna actually try to put this. The website is the vabc.org. That's the vabc.org. I'll put it on the screen momentarily once I type it in. And feel free, check out the website. There's more than there's many different things that are going on, and but volunteer. There's 100+ people that are there, and if you got some time, no matter who you are, just go down and volunteer. See Ken and get you started. So the address, can you give me the
Yeah.
local?
So our address is 755 Pine Street. So 755 Pine Street,
All right.
Fall River.
Real easy spot to get to.
Very
So
easy.
you should check it out, and I'm gonna continue to blast their Facebook page on my pages, whether it's a Really Charlie podcast, anything with WNB1 Radio, and get people in contact, and let's network and get some things going with the veterans.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. See, I like this Q&R code, so I'm going to
Yeah.
add that to a lot of things.
Yeah, that's our QR code. So
Yeah.
for donations, being a nonprofit, right?
Yeah,
We got to get out there and do the work, so that's what
Yeah.
it comes down to.
exactly.
We do a lot of fundraisers. Car show coming up August 3rd. Car show at BCC
I
in
love
Fall
it.
River, right under the solar panels. So we're in the shade on a hot summer day.
Did you do one last year?
Mhm.
All right,
This is
so
our
that's the
6th
same
annual.
one.
This is our 6th annual.
Okay, that's the one that
So
I
they
missed.
they've done
Okay.
a few there.
Yeah,
Different organizations
to have done it.
that have done them there.
All right.
2 weeks ago, I was there for one for a different organization. I saw pictures from another one again
Mhm.
at BCC. So this is our 6th annual. So we've been doing them for a while.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, if I remember correctly, 175 show vehicles.
Mm.
So it's a pretty good size.
Wow.
We have a good time. We get some trophies. We hand out trophies, and everybody understands it's a fundraiser for the veterans. Right?
Mhm.
So they come in. We've got vendors, people selling things, and we just try to have a good time.
Yeah,
That's,
exactly.
you get to see some pretty wild cars.
Mhm. Just like you talked about with the cookout, right?
Yeah.
Close down the center. Let's do this for the veterans. Let's chill out. Let's hang out. Let's talk, communicate. The car show does the same thing, because you go on the car to car, and you're also conversating, having those conversations, or hey, I'll see you later. I'll see you Monday.
Yeah.
Stop
And
on
actually,
by.
a lot of the people that own the vehicles are veterans.
Yeah.
They might not need our services, so we don't necessarily see them at the center a lot,
Mhm.
but they're veterans and they understand the power of just exactly what you said, of getting together.
Mhm.
If I'm a veteran and I'm walking by a car, I could talk about anything.
Mhm.
I could talk
Yeah.
about a car. I could talk about the military, right?
Yeah.
So it just becomes very easy to talk to people.
Mhm. Common ground,
That's it.
and yep, that's good.
Yeah.
The we have a car show coming up pretty soon in New Bedford, the 50s night.
Okay.
And that's last year was the biggest I've ever seen in the city in a long, long time. So hopefully your numbers are up there also.
Hoping, yeah, fingers
Yeah.
crossed. We're usually pretty good. We get a lot of support. I can't say that enough.
Yeah.
The community as a whole, and not just Fall River, but kind of everybody. The support that we get it's overwhelming.
Mhm.
We couldn't do what we do without the support
Yeah.
from the community. People are constantly bringing clothes in or food donations like that. Those types of things come in all day, every day, on top of just money when it comes
Yeah.
to, supporting us with our events that we do. We get it's a lot of the same people that are supporting us over and over and over again because they see the value in what we do.
Yeah.
and who we're taking care of, and it means a lot, right? Like
Exactly.
my family. So I have people that are not veterans, but their family member was a veteran and they want to support that, so
Yeah.
we just keep doing what we're doing.
That's it. Some have paid with the ultimate sacrifice, and some are paying from the extraordinary injuries, and whether it's physically or mentally. So when you can help out, and just you all raised your hand and you said you're gonna swear to the Constitution, do what you have to, and so just that in itself means a lot for me. And the sacrifices that I've seen with my uncles and aunts and cousins and what they went through, that they still, regardless of how many years ago it was, how many decades ago it was, they talk about it on a daily to weekly basis.
Yep.
So
You bring a lot with you.
yeah.
You carry a lot with you.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, there's different things, for me, I'm very lucky. I serve my time and no major issues, bumps and bruises. We all have them, but overall, very, very lucky, very blessed. And I know that. So this is, like I said, this is my opportunity to give back to the people that weren't so fortunate as I was. We share the building. This is great. We share the building with the Disabled American Veterans.
Okay.
So they're there to help the veterans with their claims to the VA to help them get money.
Yes.
Right. So when I say the center is almost all encompassing, right, we're giving them food, we're giving them clothes if they need it, we're giving them that camaraderie, we're giving them all of those different things. The DAV is getting them money, right?
Good.
So it's such a great place to be, where they're coming in and they're getting fully served. This is our chance to serve them, and it's, and I always tell everybody, the best part of the job for me is that I get to sit and talk and, kind of just be around all of these veterans that I looked up to, that
Mhm.
they're the reason why I joined the Marines.
Yeah.
Right. And now here I am getting to sit with them and hear their stories firsthand. And
Yeah.
when I tell you humbling, to a whole new level,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like when I am so blessed and so thankful every single day. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. As the decades passed and as the different tours or as you guys say and girls say, the theater, and as they change from one to the next, I'm not going to say it's worse or better, but it's really it's appealing. It's not appealing, but it's eye catching for me because I see some of the things that my aunts and uncles wore
Mhm,
to compare to what they're wearing now,
mhm.
and um, it's just it's really really um, tasking. Just the equipment, just the and I want to I can't think of it right now. There was a documentary that I looked at, and it's one thing about me is when there are things like that on TV, I stay focused on it. I may be watching a sports program or one of my favorite shows. If I'm kind of flipping through the channels and I see anything military,
Mhm.
I stop,
Yeah.
and then I come back or I don't come back to the game, and I'm like, oh well, who won? And I check it out. But that documentary that's on there is something that
Real. It's
real,
real.
yeah,
Right. Sports are great. I love sports.
yeah,
And I'm the same way. If I'm flipping through, I see something
hmm
exactly what you said. I can check the score on the game, right?
yeah,
But this is, I don't want to say I'm a history buff,
yeah,
but I enjoy history,
yeah, sure do.
and especially military history, right?
Hmm
Um, and it's funny. My son just turned 15. He's the same way.
hmm
We could be watching the Celtics game, and if commercial, let's flip through, and something
Yeah,
pops up, and no issues watching
hmm
whatever it is. He
yeah,
appreciates that stuff. So
that's awesome.
yeah,
It's it's a great teacher. Um, YouTube is amazing for me because I do see those face to face, realistic stories, organic stories, and I really enjoy them.
yeah,
And what it does, it leads to topics for me to talk about on the podcast,
yeah,
on poetic conversations,
yeah,
um, and uh, and I like that. So
yeah. And what you said, like just all of the different conflicts throughout the years, right? We all have seen and done the same thing.
hmm
I can have a conversation with a Vietnam veteran, and we're synced up.
hmm
Um, Iraq, yeah, it's all the same.
yeah,
So we have that special bond with everybody.
true.
Women, there's a woman. She spoke at one of the events. One of our veterans. There wasn't a dry eye
Mm,
in the place. She was a nurse during Vietnam, and she
yeah,
was telling one of the stories, and and she doesn't even really consider herself a veteran.
yeah.
And I'm like, are you? Listen,
hmm
I was a Marine, and I promise you, like, we couldn't do what we did without you, and it goes on, right? Like the list goes on of the people that help out. There's a veteran that he was a dentist,
hmm
and we were kayaking, and we were having a conversation, and he said, I really don't, I just never really saw myself as a veteran
Yeah.
because I didn't even have a uniform. And I said, listen, as a Marine,
hmm
I got my teeth busted out. Guess what? I was
Yeah.
very happy that you were there.
Exactly.
So I thank you for that.
hmm
And that's how it is. A lot of people, a lot of veterans, they don't see themselves as as veterans or
Yeah.
what they've done, because that was our job. We did our job, and I think that's how a lot of us feel about it. It was just what we supposed to do,
Yeah.
And I tell people now, people come to the center and they thank me, right? Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I hear that a lot, and that's great. And I appreciate it. I really do. But make sure you thank the first responders right now,
Yeah.
because they're out there doing it right now.
Mhm.
They see at least the same, if not more, than what we did, overseas and things like that. They see this stuff on a daily basis.
They do.
So
And-
thank them.
And they're quite busy. Sometimes towns and cities have a very small fleet of first responders, whether it's police, fire, EMS, and they're just on the grind. They're constantly doing it. I'm a 30-year veteran of the New Bedford Police,
Yeah.
and there's, when there's some days, especially now that the weather's getting warmer, that you're constantly on the go. So I want to say thank you for you saying that, because it's really, sometimes we say it's a thankless job
Yeah.
because,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
some people are not ready to say thank you. Well, let's just say that, I won't get into that. That's another story.
Yeah.
But,
Our peer group, actually, on Monday nights that we run, we actually opened it up to the first responders as well.
That's
because
good to know.
It's so important for them to have that outlet, right? And a lot of times they might not want to go. And I know a lot of, like you said, cities and towns, they do those types of things to take care of their own.
Mhm.
But it's a lot to be around your counterparts, right? And to kind of open up.
Yeah, it's taboo.
This gives
it's
them,
a very taboo.
Very taboo.
thing, and
So
you
this
just-
gives them a place kind of outside
Mhm.
their four walls.
Yeah.
Gives them that spot to come in
Mhm.
and just
Yeah.
kind of talk it out.
Especially when you're able to communicate with someone that may be in New Bedford, and
Mhm.
someone that's in Fall River or
Mhm.
Somerset. Even though you're doing the same work,
Yeah.
but I never met you. I never met that person. So now they can talk.
Yeah.
And all right, I because of that taboo situation, some agencies, you may talk, then all of a sudden it's all over the place. And why did I go there?
Yeah.
This was
Yep.
supposed to be 1-on-1 or 1-on-4 or 4-on-4 rather.
Yeah. Yep.
And why does everybody else know where I was?
Yep.
So when you do go to other venues, it's a little bit more. The confidentiality is it feels a little bit safer.
It's a big leap to get there.
Yeah.
But if you can get there, it's easier to talk to those people than it is the people that you're working with every day.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what we really hope for. That's what we strive for by opening that up.
All right. Our friend and our mutual friend, Carl Pius, he's just text me, and just a friendly reminder that the Cape Verdean Independence Day is coming up July 5th. And also we have a parade this Saturday, weather permitting. And he's also involved with the Massachusetts State Boxing annual event. So that's coming up August 24th. So I just wanted to put that out there to everybody, and go out and support, and
We'll have
come
a
down
link-
to the parade. And
We'll have a link to the boxing on our website.
Okay.
We'll get that up so people can see that. Yeah.
And this leads to my next question. You're going to be in the parade, right?
We are going to be in the parade. Yes.
Mhm.
Yep. So we've got we're going to bring 2 vehicles.
Okay.
So we'll be. Yep.
Yeah.
I got my my staff, my volunteers. They're ready to go. So
That's
yeah,
nice.
They're looking forward to it. Yeah.
It's it's good for the parade. It's good to have different groups and organizations involved in the parade, because it's a pretty lengthy parade.
Yeah.
So as you're in that car with the signs on the side of the vehicle and flags raising and all banners all over the place, someone may just need your help,
Yep.
and they see it, and it's this city is full of many veterans. So I'm glad that you're in the parade.
We're very excited about it. Honestly and truly, we're very excited. We do the parades in Fall River, and the last year we've kind of branched out and started doing more. We're doing the 4th of July parade in Westport. We did Swansea, Dartmouth. We're all over, right?
Yeah.
Whatever we can get out there, because like you said, people, they see our truck and they say, well, what is that? We've got it all wrapped, right?
Yeah.
And what is that place? Okay. All right. They might make a note, and say, hey, check out the VABC. What was that place about?
That's good.
And that's just one more veteran that we could be helping that might need the help. And here we are,
Can't wait. We'll be along that parade route also. So hopefully you're close enough so you can see some good music by WNB1
I'm
Radio.
hoping. Yeah. I don't know what the lineup looks
Yeah.
like, but
We're in the parade.
we're excited.
That's right. Yeah.
The group Wamtronica,
Okay.
underground dance music. So we have a pickup truck full of speakers and a DJ.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's nice.
Also microphones. We're gonna have live performance
Oh, that's awesome.
on the truck going on.
I didn't even know that. Y'all holding out, man.
You reposted one of the flyers.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I had the wrong glasses on, Oh my God. Oh, that's good.
And tomorrow afternoon, the group Volados are playing at the Underground Railroad Cafe over on Acushnet, 213 Acushnet.
Okay.
So we're doing that in celebration. We're gonna kick that off at 4:00.
That's it. I
Wow.
see. After work, gonna do a few things, and I'll
Yeah,
be down there
man.
with you.
I can't tell you how excited we are for the parade.
That's gonna be nice.
Really, it just getting out there and just
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something about being in a parade, right? Your arm gets a little tired from waving,
Yeah.
but it's fun,
Yeah, it is.
I've got, like I said, I've got my staff. I've got a bunch of volunteers that are already ready to go. Yep.
Can't wait.
No.
Cannot wait. All right, everyone. This is Veterans Association of Bristol County Incorporated. Ken Levesque, and this dude is doing amazing things, and thanks to former personality here at WNB1 Radio. That would be Carl Pius, another veteran. Thank you for introducing me to this organization and this great gentleman here. And I just, this is going to be a relationship that's going to build, and I can't wait to get involved and help you out with anything that you have.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Just
All right.
just saying that,
Yeah.
that you want to be part of us,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
we are growing, and we just want to help veterans. That's all.
Good.
It's,
Yeah.
in its simplest form, we just want to help veterans, and anybody that can jump on board and help us with that, the more hands, the better.
Good. Good. All right, Ken. I'll let you close if you want to close with anything.
So the car show, like you said, August 3rd. Then we've got the boxing
Mhm.
August 24th. So we're looking forward to those events. And anybody, go to our website, thevabc.org, and 755 Pine Street in Fall River. Stop in, give us a call.
All right.
We're there Monday through Thursday. Fridays we're there. We're closed to the public. We are there. That's our day to put everything back together
Okay.
from the week. It gets a little crazy, so that's our opportunity.
All right.
But stop in, give us a call, check out the website. You can contact us right on the website. And we just want to help veterans. So if there's anybody out there that needs something, let us know, and we can
Okay.
help out.
Awesome. All right. We are gonna close this podcast, this show, and we're gonna go right into poetic conversations. Ken, thank you.
Thank you.
And you
Thank you
need
for having
anything
me.
from us, let us know.
I will.
And I would
Absolutely.
gladly.
We'll be in touch. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I got to get you down to the center.
Yeah, I promise you I'll be there
Yeah.
very, very soon.
Awesome.
All right. By the end
All
of the
right.
month. All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so
All right.
much. All right.
Appreciate it. That's
Yeah.
all right.
All right. So
Look at this.
Our challenge coin right there. You got a
Nice.
pin, a keychain.
I love it. I will.
I'll leave these with you. You can
All right.
do what you want with
No,
them. Hand them out
I'll
if you need
definitely take care of it. And
Okay.
I will see a few of my friends. And you need anything from us, let me know.
Thank you.
I'll get you a T-shirt as soon as I can. And we'll go from there.
Greatly appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you for the time.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a good one.
All
Thanks.
right. You too. Ken, if you need to go to the men's room right down the hall. All right. All right. Take care. All right.
All right, bro.
Awesome guest, man.
Yeah.
It you can't, people like him that's doing their thing. It's just they're out there, but when he's committed to it every single day, gotta give him some credit. All right. So, but all right, let's do our thing, man.
All right, yeah.
Make sure that mic's close to you, and we are gonna rock and roll. You can slide the table over. See the meters are kind of low down there.
All right, check, test, check, test.
Just perfect.
Here we go. Let me.
All right, I'm gonna turn this one down. All right.
All right, so yeah. Let me see if you pick, because if I sit back, no. All right. All right, so if I sit back,
That's good.
so I'm gonna have to sit kind of like this to get it. All right, cool.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Got to make you comfortable.
My keys slightly. All right, let's see.
Let's see. Let's try to. It's been a while, man. We haven't got
Yeah.
together in a bit, you know.
Yeah, we didn't do June.
Yeah, we didn't do June, and that's it. Nice.
Some nice dreams around the window shade. My eyes open and close to a squint. Rise to a day with morning gone. Reminiscent of how last night was spent. Taking up to a clouded memory. Opening up to a master plan. All I need is a few more minutes, 'cause this is how the day began. I was awakened by a noonday sun, first light of the time. Awakened. Okay, that's picking up too. Cool.
I love it. Thunder Child. This is and we're friends, and if it's not every day, it's every other day I'm listening to something that you have done, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that, because your music kind of gets me into just it's not a wake up call, but it's a wake up vibe, right? It gets me in that good vibe where I can just kind of ease into the day and not let things worry or bother me,
Mhm.
And even though I've listened to many of your songs, I still catch a lyric that I didn't catch, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's a little bit brighter. Or it was said a whole lot clearer because I was paying attention, right?
Mhm.
And it just inspires me. And I just, being a writer and writing my poems, sometimes it could be just 3 words that you say, and it just gets me onto something. And it will usually trigger to many things,
Mhm.
because I'll keep writing and writing and writing. So, thanks for being that daily inspiration.
Oh, thank you, bro.
All right.
And likewise, because I enjoy dialing in, finding your poetry
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and the pieces that come to you each day.
I did like your last voyage during the during your birthday week.
Okay. Yeah.
That was something to capturing different things that you were doing throughout that week.
Yeah.
It was just things triggered in my head, and just saying, well, all right, this looks pretty cool, man. So let's talk about that, man.
Oh man. Well, it was it's year 56 for me,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's a young 56, man.
very kind of you.
Yes.
Very kind of you. Dude.
Yes.
Because Zig pointed out to me because he just turned 21.
Mm.
So he's laughing about, wow, I can now actually legally be in all the bars I've been playing in for the last 7 years. But and the funny thing is, the young man doesn't even drink, so
Yeah.
Yep. That just makes it kind of doubly funny for him.
Mm-hmm.
But what he pointed out is this is his third cycle of seventh and my eighth.
Mm. Yep.
And
Yep.
considering that
Feels good.
people who are into supreme mathematics, 8 is build, destroy, 7 is God.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 8 trips around the points of God.
Yeah.
The 7 nodes.
That's weird that you mentioned, which I know you know this group, but the 7-headed angels.
Oh yeah, I had them.
And
back when I had a show on public access out
Mhm.
on the Cape called The Talking Drum.
Yes.
I had the 7-headed angels on. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, my lodge brother Wayne Thomas was their manager.
Mm-hmm.
This was before I was a member of
Wow.
Prince Hall, but yeah, I remember them well. 7-headed angels.
Wayne Thomas, from New Bedford.
Yeah.
Retired firefighter.
Retired. I know he was doing construction for a while. I think
Yeah.
might have been a firefighter at one point.
Same dude. All right.
Now you find him over at the gym over
Yes. And he's
working with the young folk.
Yeah. It's amazing that you mentioned that because my brother and I needed a ride to the state of Florida one summer.
Mm.
And Wayne was the driver,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And taking 2 New Bedford kids from New Bedford to Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and he was our chaperone. And
there you go.
so we've been close, and he's more like an uncle to me.
Yeah.
And he's definitely been just a good dude. And we talk about that time, and it was somewhere in 1976. Sounds like a movie, right?
Yeah. Right. It's funny because I think about speaking of the Prince Hall Lodge in New Bedford,
Mhm.
number 4, just in terms of the connection I've always had to that, even though I'm with the lodge in Brockton.
Yes.
I came in through New Bedford.
Mm-hmm.
But Union Lodge number 4, I think of the brothers there. I think of people like Wayne Thomas and Jabril Kazan.
Jabril, yep.
And Frank Stubbs.
Mm-hmm.
And Carlos Amato.
Yes.
And Randall Pollard and late Randall Pollard.
Yes.
And John Cole.
Mm-hmm.
And just think of the influence these brothers have had on me personally, but also just looking at the influence and impact.
Michael Strait and Mr. Almeida, I believe it is.
Oh yeah.
John.
Yeah.
John. Yep.
Yeah.
So great.
So many
inspirational people, especially in the West End community.
John Offley.
Yes, John Offley, another one.
But Mr. Gomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All of these folks.
Yes.
Quite an impact. And but yeah, and the fun thing was when I remember I made application first to Union Lodge number 4. That was how I found out my grandfather had been a member.
Wow, see that?
Nobody ever talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that, but it was like,
it
was actually Randall Pollard who said, "Oh yeah, Steve."
Yes.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I think it was 26, but
yes. Wow, Randall Pollard. It's amazing that they the unity, the it's just not a title, right? It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And so endearing. Really I know you talk about Mr. Stubbs and Mr. Offley, and I love their stories, and I love how they talk. Mr. Stubbs a little quiet, he's to himself a little bit, but he's still
Yeah.
he's still that iconic person to me, and
He is very much. I'm saying was because he's a past master.
yeah, yep,
In terms of he set a template for all the masters after him to follow.
hmm
I mean, not to take away from the masters that came before him, but he set a very clear precedent and example of this is how you govern a lodge. This is
Yes.
how you run a lodge.
hmm
Those of us who came after, if we
yes,
followed his template, we had a much easier time.
yeah, it's so true.
And so definitely kudos to him.
I am I'm very, very happy that I and fortunate that I met all those men throughout my life, through personal things on a one-on-one with both of us, or being friends of my mom and my dad. Definitely till this day, my dad's looking down and saying, "Hey, my friends are being very genuine to my son," and I appreciate that. So, what we got next, man? What do you want to talk about?
Just we've been talking about scene development.
Mm-hmm. So, are you happy with the scene development here?
Happy with how it's going for us.
Yeah.
Happy with how it's going for I'm seeing really good things with New Moon Dance Party.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing really good things coming out of Sleepless
Yes.
in New England.
Mhm.
Impressive stuff with them. Seeing good stuff coming from Third Eye. So that part of the scene I'm seeing coming up. It's
I happened to see him today.
yeah. It's good with for us building relationships with the Underground Railroad Cafe, continuing with the Cape Verdean Band Club, and with the Gallery X.
Yes.
And the things we have going on. The Thump and Soul session is picking up. We're still doing that third Saturdays. We moved it downstairs because that's just a more connected kind of environment. It's not as big and vacuous.
I got it.
Upstairs, so nicer for that kind of thing.
I like that idea.
And so we moved it down there. We're going to take August off. We have one coming up, the third Saturday of this month. Taking August off. We're going to pick back up in September.
Okay.
With it, full throttle. But so, yeah, in that regard, things are developing nicely. But it's funny to be a New Yorker in New Bedford. And part of it is, as a New Yorker, you learn to pay attention and you learn to ask questions, and you learn to pay even more attention after you've asked the question.
Yeah.
And you learn who to ask questions to. And sometimes you ask questions for an answer, and sometimes you ask questions as a warning. And that's part of just being New Yorker, to be even more precise, from the Bronx.
Yes.
Brothers from Brooklyn and from Queens and from Harlem, from the 5 boroughs, we all move a little bit different. And my come up was the Bronx. So,
yes.
The Bronx and Harlem. So that's what influenced things that I see.
And you mentioned that, and I think my friend Blair from the Zeitarians, she kind of going through the same thing, but through DC. That's what I'm assuming. She's very into the community and trying to establish a scene, or make the scene a little bit different, without taking from it. Actually. Like an inspiration, right? It's sort of like what you're doing. You're always trying to inspire someone to get that talent going and get that talent out there. I like the fact that you build that connection with the Underground Railroad Cafe. And I would love to do a live podcast from there, where when we meet up and plan it a little bit better,
Yeah.
because I want to do a podcast, but I don't want to be in the way. I don't want to add. I want to add to it, but I don't want to be interference. So the thing is like when I was there, I was so much enjoying just watching you and Zig play, and that was good for me, and which it led to inspire me to do something. um and we just honored the Tavaz brothers, and you did you did a song with Check It Out, and so on that note,
You need a strong hand to guide you through the night. If you want someone who understands, things can get uptight. If it means anything to you to know that I care for you, check it out. Check it out. They're going to hear the whole thing. They can come to one of our shows.
That's right. Yeah. And that's tomorrow, man. It's we
About the underground. What?
yeah.
It's a funny thing. Like I was saying, observing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beautiful thing and a clownish tragedy thing about our community.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm saying our community, I'm speaking the community of color. I'm talking about our Cape Verdean community, our West Indian community here in the city of New Bedford. Beautiful thing is, on the surface, we all support each other.
Yeah.
On the surface, we will speak up for each other. We'll speak out for each other. But then when I really look closely and see the level of backbiting,
Mm-hmm.
and what I would even see as the level of self-sabotage backbiting.
Yeah.
I'm talking about mothers talking behind daughters' backs,
Mm-hmm.
fathers talking behind sons' backs, and they're in the same business.
Yeah.
And this one's talking bad about that one, and that one's talking bad about that one, but in their face they're grinning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, again, I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I see you do that. I know something,
Mm-hmm.
and watching people who are supposed to be in business and loyalties are nowhere based on actual business decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing, okay, this is why what you're doing is failing.
Yeah, so true.
And this is why what somebody else is doing is winning.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about building a scene. What we have to look at is, what is our goal of the scene? Is it to connect or to dazzle?
Mm-hmm.
And too many of us go for the dazzle.
Yeah. Because dazzles like stars, they're all over the place, right?
Yeah. and it's big and shiny and woo, but
Mm-hmm.
does it really connect?
Yeah.
And it's with connection with the Groovalados. When our first album came out, we supported it by doing a street tour. And the reason we did a street tour is, how do you reach the audiences that you otherwise can't reach? And you don't have like $1 million budget behind you, no marketing budget. So how do you do that? And it's literally everybody's in the street at one point or another.
Mm-hmm.
You guys gonna walk past in the street, and if they feel it, they feel it. And if they don't feel it, they don't feel it.
Yeah.
But more often than not, they feel it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we learned, even just setting up with drums and amps and makeshift microphone setup and everything, playing out in the street. We discovered there's that connection, and that's sort of the principle behind how we move.
Mm.
Gallery X, it's about making that connection.
Yes.
Pop-up street dance parties, it's about connecting.
Yes.
When they say people remember how you made them feel, well, yeah, we want to make you feel good. When you hear our
Mhm.
music, we want you to feel, oh, okay, good. Now, There's some people when they hear our name, we don't want them to feel good.
Yeah.
and they've earned that privilege. They've earned that privilege hard. I want them to cry when they hear our name.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people should feel good when they hear our name. You know?
Exactly.
And if they cry when they hear our name, they earn that. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that too. But it's about the connection.
Yeah.
So, you know, with the Underground Railroad Cafe, it's right there on the corner. It's a familiar place. People know.
Mm-hmm.
Connection. The CV Band Club.
Yeah.
Neighborhood connection. And same with Gallery X. You know, it becomes interesting with some of the venues because again, they're self-sabotaging. It's sort of like, you know, yeah, when the smoke of your ego clears, you got nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
You got nothing. And it's like, you know, I'm trying to think of, you know, pomp and circumstance and stuff behind things that are big, you know, big things being brought to New Bedford. And then like a week before it's supposed to happen, a couple of days before it's happened, postponed, canceled,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it could have done something on a much smaller scale and actually pulled it off.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. It's so true. There was saying some people's eyes are bigger than, or some people's, their stomach's bigger than their eyes. I forget how that saying goes, but
Well, it's their eyes are bigger than their stomach.
yeah.
Is the old saying.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. And that goes the same thing with things they're trying to do around here. You just can't do it if your last few events were 12 to 20 people. You know what? That's your scale, right? That's your scale. And if it increases, guess what? It increases, but you have a crowded room. And then you move up and you level up. So
that's what we did when
Mhm.
we were a brand new band. I booked us in venues. I'm not gonna lie, I booked us in venues that held like 40 and 50 people.
Mhm.
And what happened by about the third or fourth time we played out? Packed house.
Yes. Yeah.
And the thing is, people aren't gonna say, "Oh, it was a tiny club." They're just gonna remember, "Oh man, I couldn't get in there."
Mhm.
That's when you
Yeah.
scale up. So now we need, you know, now we need the 100-seater, now we
Mhm.
need the 200-seater, now we need, you know.
That's good. And Howard Hewitt says it the best. You know, he talks about the red lights and blue lights in his songs and his music. He talks about the parties in the basement.
Mhm.
And those become, those are the parties that you talked about.
This is it.
You talked about them. Oh, we went all night. The music was jamming. Girls were lit, the guys were lit. So on and so forth. And you just remember those, and it's just a small. I mean, there's.
Well, Mel Waiters has that song, "The smaller the club, the bigger the party."
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he's talking about the best time he had was in a club that didn't even have a DJ, just had a jukebox. And
Mm-hmm.
thinking about stuff like that, we have all the acts are on tour this summer, and
Yeah.
even though all the acts intertwine, the Groovelados are on tour. We have a bunch of private shows, and we have a couple of things that are in public for people.
Yeah.
Wamptronica has a whole bunch of pop-up dance parties all over the place. With Thunderchild,
Mhm.
shows around. I'm taking a couple of days off, but I'm picking back up on the 14th of July. I'm going to be playing up in Watertown,
Okay.
doing my blues up there for the library.
Hmm.
And it's, and then so you have Wamptronica, you have ZYG, who's all over the place. He's going to
Yes, he is.
he's going to be here for Aha Night over at Abolitionist Way, doing something.
I did see that.
Doing his hip hop performance for Third Eye.
And
And yeah, like I said, we're Groovelados are at the Underground Cafe, July 25th. Wamptronica, well, July 20th, Wamptronica's at Gallery X,
Mhm.
and on the 25th, we're at the Band Club again.
Yes.
And it's just trying to spark that back.
Yeah.
And it's not even about, oh, I'm here to dazzle. We're not here to dazzle everybody. Just make everybody have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Have a fun time. Have a good time. I come from I was 9 and 10 years old, but the park parties
Mm-hmm.
that became hip hop.
Yeah.
it starts with that small connection, those few
So
phone
true.
calls, and then that's what the reality builds from.
The last time you were at the Underground Railroad Cafe, I met someone there, and the conversation was nice. We just kind of, there was people I knew, there was one or two that I didn't know, but it was that setting was so good, and it just goes back to what you were just saying. You're trying to just kind of kindle things, rekindle it, and get things going. You know, and being there is a great thing for me. And we both, while we were there, we talked about the history of that area and what it meant to both of us. I think.
My original New Bedford.
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
understanding of New Bedford neighborhoods was Bay Village. Yeah.
So, but I have a gift for Ms. Colleen Caldwell. Colleen Caldwell, I got something for her, and I don't know if I talked to you about it, but I'm gonna give it to her tomorrow. What time we start tomorrow? You start
Tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. All right.
213 of Cushnet
All right. So
Ave.
I should I gotta wait until my wife gets out. So
We're gonna be going till about 7.
all right. So yeah.
We'll probably go check out. I think there's something later on happening at
At the vets, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. You That will be the first stop, Underground Railroad Cafe, and then I'm gonna go head down the road and get to the
Now,
vets.
is the vets not gonna be open mic poetry, or is that?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm trying to figure it out because there's definitely something that I like to read and get involved with it. The last time I was there, it was an open mic, but that was with Eric Andre, different people. So, but I hope so because that was my speaking piece on it. That it's probably going to be open mic. And I hope it is because that would be. That just adds to it, and I believe it's going to be a good event, and so, but yeah, I've been getting inspired by you and many others when you talk about the scene, and so July, I think it's 27th.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go back to Tavaz Way, Tavaz Brothers Way, and I got to keep on remember that Tavaz Brothers Way. And what we're going to do is, and it was based on a conversation that I had that day when they were honoring and putting the sign up. Is I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were just talking about, man, this is great. Could you imagine if we just all got our own chairs and just sat out here and just had a conversation? I said, that's a good idea. So what it did, that conversation inspired what I'm going to do. Just bring a lawn chair, bring my JBL,
Mhm.
make sure it's all charged up, put a USB in the back, and just play Tavaz music
Well,
and have conversation.
well, I got another one for you.
What's that?
Well, I'm trying to. Whenever we play an area, we make sure to mix in the local music.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we play New Bedford, Tavares is part of our Afro House
Nice.
setup. Weather and time permitting, maybe we can, because we have a street setup. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe we can come spin.
All right. Is 1 o'clock too early or too late or not enough time? You tell me. But that's what I'm going to do is at 1.
1 o'clock. If we could make it a little about 2. It's
2?
It's just a trickle on the weekend trying to get off the Cape.
Yeah.
Is a little.
So, all right, I'll change that time to 2, and
But let's look at the 27th. Yeah.
but yeah, because I can't wait. I'll do what I can and try to have some water and do whatever. Just bring your own cooler, bring your own lawn chair, and let's just have fun, and then clean up after we're done.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the pop-up thing that we like to do
Mm-hmm.
with the Groove Lotto. So yeah, do a tribute to the DeVars
Yeah.
family. This one I actually wrote for Chops Turner.
Mm.
I've been looking forward to this time to just sit back and chill, getting things ready all night. I'm about to fire up this grill, build a dance floor in the backyard. You know we're gonna have a good time. Folks arriving with bottles, pots, and pans. With nothing but good times, 'cause that's what we plan. When we get together, there's always a good time. When we get together, making memories, always on my mind. That's
I like it. I like it.
that's a Chops Turner. That record's out called Get Together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna re-release that one for him.
He,
Talking about that kind of Saturday.
mm-hmm. I see. That's another dude, man. I'm glad you guys connected. And let's talk about that connection between you two.
Oh yeah.
Why, when, and where did that happen for you two?
It's a funny years stretch.
Mm-hmm.
When I first came out of grad school, was coming back into the area and just kind of really establishing myself. It was like early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I remember NAACP on the Cape, very active in terms of
Yeah,
doing events.
Mr. Reed, John Reed.
John Reed,
Yep.
the late great Mr. Reed.
Mm-hmm.
But the person who did a lot of his event coordination was a gentleman, the late Mr. Levi Hill.
Yes.
And so Mr. Hill would have different dances, events, and so forth. And one of his sources of entertainment was the High Tech Orchestra,
Mm-hmm.
which was later Chops Turner
Yes.
and the High Tech Orchestra. So I went to check out Mr. Turner and
Mm-hmm.
High Tech Orchestra. Was very impressed with his vocals.
Yes.
His musician, Mr. Green,
Mm-hmm.
had the synthesizer, drum machine set up. This was the High Tech Orchestra, so you really just had a musician or two,
Yep.
and the singer, and just enjoying that.
I remember.
How they did their thing. But young new musician, and you see this guy who has all this vocal power, all these chops, and this
Mm-hmm.
older musician who obviously has it,
Yeah.
together on that level. A lot of it is really confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Think about, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But fast forward to one night, the NAACP had an event in Hyannis, and it was the crowd for this event was a little different, man, because the NAACP, like I say, a little bougie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you had a bougie populace. You had more of a bougie populace on the Cape. Older
Mhm.
populace,
Yeah.
And so this crowd was a little different. These were. You had at one point a contingent of folk who were up here, kind of escaping warrants.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep.
And so you had a sizable pocket of those folk who had, at the time, had settled in Hyannis.
I hear you.
Well, that was the majority of the crowd that night.
Mm-hmm.
And so the party looked a little bit more like the cover of that Marvin Gaye record at the Sugar Shack.
Yes. Yep.
Good times.
I'm surprised it ain't up here.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. It might be in the other room.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But it was funny because that was
Mm-hmm.
that was the vibe. It was just like this outlandish group.
Yeah.
And I remember I was with a group. We were doing African drumming and poetry, kind of like the Last Poets type of thing.
Okay.
Called the Talking Drum
I
Poets.
can listen to that.
And Mr. Reed had booked us
Mm-hmm.
to perform, but he also had Chops Turner and he had a DJ. Well, this crowd was unruly as all get out. Chops gets up. He's now got the crowd under control, but he had a keyboard player who was not Mr. Green.
Mm-hmm.
He had this keyboard player who then gets on the mic and starts chanting, the roof, the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So now Chops has lost control of the room.
Yeah.
This guy's, reawakened the fool in everybody.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to think. That would have been 1998. I
Mm-hmm.
want to say that happened. Well, I was then like, well, hell. So I reached and grabbed my card and said, clearly you need an accompanist, Mr. Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my card.
Wow.
And talked to him a few times. I remember actually he sent me a copy of his, he had just put out his Cut Champion
Mm-hmm.
around that time. So he sent me a copy of Champion. We were talking about doing some work together. And I was actually getting ready to go in the studio to do a single and realize there's going to be like a major turning point single for me.
Mm-hmm.
Went in and did this single and ended up the single. This is back when the internet wasn't quite as algorithmically
Yeah.
controlled as it is now. They had websites like Napster and mp3.com and where people talk about, oh, they were using it to rip folks off. Well,
Mhm.
really, what it was anybody could upload their music and sell it. So I made my record and I uploaded it, placed it up there, and was advised put the radio cut as a free download. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lo and behold, I end up then getting booked because people are downloading this record. They like the record, so I'm getting bookings up and down.
Nice.
It's like paid bookings up and down the East Coast off of the single. So I'm now riding the wave of this single, end up on tour, end up selling thousands of copies. Like
I love it.
sold about 16,000 copies.
I love it.
Now, here's the funny thing, because people are going to be like, oh, only 16,000 copies. Well, let me do some mathematics for you. You go to a record label, they pay for your studio, they pay for your marketing,
Mm-hmm.
they put out your record.
Yeah.
Well, when they put your record out, they have to make all that money back first. So it's called recoupable losses.
Mm-hmm.
So then the money for the studio, the money for the music video, the money for the tour, all of that has to be made back. And then you start to see royalties.
Yes.
If you're an artist, the biggest chunk you're going to see, and this is whether you're a solo act or a group, the biggest chunk you're going to see is 15, maybe 20%.
Mm-hmm.
But then if it's a group, you got to divide it up between, that 15%
Yeah.
now has to divide up between 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So
Mm-hmm.
that becomes less money. So what I came to realize was selling 16,000 copies of a CD that I printed myself. I didn't have all that overhead, so the money went back in my pocket. So yes, I repaid myself the studio money. I repaid myself the marketing.
I like that.
But from the 16,000 minus my expenses, I ended up making more money than if my record had gone gold on a major label.
Mm-hmm.
So when people want to say, oh, you only sold 16,000, that's nothing. Well, in those terms, it's nothing, but in terms of my bank account,
It's something. It's definitely something.
And that's the bottom line. It's the funny thing people don't look at. They look
Mhm.
at, oh, you're playing a library? Well, yeah, the library gig pays better than the bar.
Yeah. Yep.
But again, this is where do you look at the substance, the connection, or the glitter?
I totally agree.
The glitter is I could go, play downtown and make no money whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could put a bucket and go play on a street corner and make a few $100 in an hour. But we're going to look down at the dude playing out on the street corner with the bucket and think more of the band with the poster, not realizing, the band with the poster, once their bar tab is settled up, is going home with $5 each probably.
Yeah. Yep. So true.
And, but it's what folks don't really look at.
Yeah. I mean, perfect example is I spoke to Kepra yesterday.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing,
Mhm.
first and third Thursday. And I and we've done things in the past, her and I, but I definitely got to go there and support her. But she's very talented.
Oh, yeah.
But she don't have any problem where she's going. She's singing, doing her thing, and and she's happy. Smile like the sunshine.
Well, we're gonna be collaborating. Well, talk about origins.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. Well, going back to the thing with Chops, the funny thing was we ended up, because then I went on tour. I ended up moving to New York. I ended up coming back. I'm at the university,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up bumping into each other walking out at the canal,
Wow.
and talked then. And I gave him some of the music the Groovalados were doing,
Mm-hmm.
and then had the Groovalados and so forth. Let him hear that. So it was like, wow, yeah, we definitely got to work. And then when I opened Polyphonic Studio, one of the first people I reached out to was Chops. I'm like, well, got
I love
a
it.
recording studio. We
I love it.
make records for days. So
I think that's good, because I think both of you are seeing it. Well, you're both getting the same thing. You're working with him. You're critiquing. You're professionally developing what he's offering, and then you're also enjoying the person in front of you.
yeah,
And he's also doing that same type thing. He's enjoying working with you, and this is and that's what I like about collaboration.
yeah,
And but through collaboration also comes inspiration, right? You guys can inspire each other in a whole lot of ways, and I'm just glad that you're able to put something together and give it to us in the community. I can't wait for that, because anything he's doing and you're doing is definitely something I'm gonna support. And so the
we both did the show in May.
yeah,
The fourth show over at Gallery X.
yes,
That was the Dimension show, and first of many. And going to try to talk to Hendrik about let's
hmm
do one big thing
yeah,
with everybody, and that would be dope.
yeah, it would,
And Third
it
Eye.
would. I always
Try to do something. Want to do something over in the window at Third Eye.
okay.
Do a window concert, kind of like we did last year
That would be awesome.
with Rhonda.
Yeah.
But things like that. That's what we're about.
hmm
We want energy. We want that kind of energy, and it's energy without ego.
hmm
I guess is the way to put it.
Yeah.
It's you got people who are like, I'm too big to do this. I'm too
Yeah.
big this to do that. Because you mentioned Kepra.
hmm
She was one of my early theater collaborators when I was first trying to bring my theater company into New Bedford.
Yeah.
She was doing she was putting For Colored Girls together.
hmm
And I remember she wanted me to help her with the music piece. They were going to do percussion using buckets. And it's kind of funny because that's what Zig teaches now is percussion. That was what I was doing back then with them.
Wow.
Here you see this generation repeat cycle. Now, where
nice.
that also comes funny is back at that point when I was first trying to bring the theater in. Initially, I was working with, here's some blast from the past names. I was working with Scott Gomes and Mike Pacheco.
Yes.
And so they would bring me in to do programs with Positively Youth.
Yep.
And which is how I initially met Rhea, because she worked for them.
Yeah.
And she was in For Colored Girls and told Kepra, well, there's a guy who does theater out of the Cape.
Wow.
So Kepra, whose name was different back then,
Yep.
called me and we talked about this. I was like, and I'm like, For Colored Girls, look, that's a difficult piece. And when I'm like, well, so how much theater have you done before? None. As a director, none. So you've never directed before,
No.
and you're taking an abstract, because it's a choreo,
Yeah.
which means that you now have to create scenery around speech
Yeah.
and action and movement, and you have to be able to tie it together. So it's like, this is going to be an interesting challenge. Worked with her on the music, but also worked with her in terms of working with community actors who a lot of them never done theater before. So it was sort of like it was a very cool workshop.
Yeah.
Ended up being a very cool workshop, organic kind of piece that ended up coming together very nicely. And so,
I like
seeing
that.
Kepper doing her thing now, one night I went in and I had my guitar with me, so jammed with her, and then went and chatted with her. Another night, she's like, if you want to come do them, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, she's just both of you is that's all I need.
Yeah.
That's good. I like to like even tomorrow. I want to bring my camera this time.
Okay. Yeah.
I like to take some great pictures and I like to do that more often. I finally kind of really feeling the vibe of my camera again and wanting to do more of it to get better at it. And so I want to capture some great pictures and shots of you and everyone else that's there.
Mm.
Craziest thing is so many people don't want to be photographed. I'm like, man, just capture this moment, not for you, but for others. Someone might want to see a picture of you. And or there's many. I share all my pictures, but there's many of my pictures out there. I see them on social media and they're getting shared, and they're like, people are keeping them, and I think that's a compliment.
Yeah,
Uh,
you take some,
I try.
your
I try.
composition.
Hmm.
You come with the interesting angles, and
Yeah.
you capture those nice moments. You capture
Hmm.
you capture the private moments.
Yeah.
And so forth.
Yeah. Believe it, one of my all-time favorite pictures of you is your hands on the keyboard, and I captured your hands and jewelry and everything, and that's one of my favorites.
Okay. Yeah.
And only because if you can picture this, I had the camera and I'm capturing you playing, but I'm also listening. And if you, it just that was a good moment for me. But that's one of my favorite ones, and I do like that. And with Zig, it's him in the doorway.
Hmm.
That is, I didn't expect it to be what it was or what it is.
Yeah.
So, but I like to do that tomorrow, man. Let's see. I got we got about 6 minutes.
All right.
6 to 10 minutes, and let's see. So we got the Underground Railroad Cafe, July 3rd.
4 o'clock.
All right. The who's gonna be there with you?
That's gonna be Alphonse 3 on bass
Mm-hmm.
and Zig 808 on drums
Mm-hmm.
and vocals, and I'm gonna be on keys and guitar and vocals. And I'm not sure if Phil's gonna be, Shadow Man is gonna be.
Yeah. That's my next question.
I don't know
Where's he been, man?
His work schedule.
Yeah.
His work schedule
I get it.
makes it difficult to.
The staffing is at its all-time low,
Yeah.
so I get it. So that's gonna be nice,
And then on the 11th,
Mm-hmm.
Zig is gonna be Aha Night 5 o'clock. He's gonna be at the Abolition Way
Okay.
doing his show, and on the 12th, this is a private event, but Wamtronica is gonna be at the Kilburn Center
Mm-hmm.
down there blasting away. So the next night
Okay.
we'll be there, and then on the 14th. On the 14th, I'm in Watertown playing the blues for Thunderchild, and Zig will actually be at Bebo's and Onset doing house music
Mm-hmm.
at 4 o'clock in their patio.
All right.
So,
And Abolition Park. When's it gonna be there?
5 o'clock on July 11th. Thursday.
That's what it was.
11th,
Okay.
Aha Night. He's there for the.
Oh, all right. I thought there's two different events. Okay, I got you.
So he's a high night, the 11th.
Yeah. So,
The
all right.
12th we're at the Kilburn.
Mm-hmm.
13th, 13th we're actually on the Cape. We're in Hyannis.
Yeah.
Town Green. On the 14th, he'll be at Bebo's, and I'll be in Watertown. And then on the 20th, I'm forgetting, the 19th, I'm at the Blue Room down in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Okay.
So the night of Friday, July 19th, I'm at Bevo's. I'm not Bevo's, at the Blue Room.
Yeah.
The Blue Room, Cranston. And then the 20th is going to be the Thumpin' Soul session. So that's house music over at Gallery X.
Okay.
And then on the 25th, more house music at the band club. And then on the 27th, we're going to be doing our thing at Tavares Brothers.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
they're
Can't wait.
doing our street party.
That's going to be nice. I don't see why there would be any kind of restrictions or anything because
We got a mayor who cranks out ordinances to shut down black people like on a daily basis. It looks like. Which
Yeah.
reminds me, I'm sorry, we got to speak on this.
yeah,
What the hell was that Juneteenth thing that they did at City Hall? That was disgraceful.
know what that was? That was just being lazy
That was-
and
that was
easy
beyond
access.
lazy. That was racist
Yeah,
as all get out. You're going to have a white saxophone player on Juneteenth. You've got Chops Turner, you've got Candida Rose, you've got Manny Escobar, you've got musicians and singers up and down of color this city, and you go get a white saxophone player from Boston to play the Star Spangled Banner, where the third verse is about murdering escaped slaves.
Mhm.
So, and that's what you do to sell. Yeah, I mean, John Mitchell has proven once again what a white supremacist he really
Mhm.
is. And to that, that's unforgivable.
Yeah,
That's not even lazy. That was an out and out white supremacist statement that the man was making. Plain and simple.
yeah. That was
I mean, that's beyond I didn't know, I didn't understand, I didn't know. You don't know what Juneteenth is? Why are you celebrating it? Why are you
Yeah.
recognizing it?
Yeah.
Why would you do it that way? That was disgusting.
I mean, you're in front of City Hall doing an event honoring a holiday, the newest holiday of the country.
Honoring
Yeah.
the experiences of African American
Yeah, it's this.
people, an
yeah.
observation, and what you do is ignore black people as the central part. John Mitchell does not know how to not center white people because he is a white supremacist.
Mhm.
That is the bottom line.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of he didn't know, they didn't know. This is what is constantly being presented.
Mhm.
The statement about Frederick Douglass belongs to him
Yeah,
that was made back in 2023. This is not a state. This is not it's not laziness or accidental. This is somebody reflecting their true values.
yeah, yeah. He definitely lost his way, and I don't because that wasn't the man I knew a while back, which led to me running against him because for pretty much the same type craziness, and I just think that
His uneven
it could-
application of ordinances.
Mhm.
You want to know how easy it is to open a business in New Bedford? I can tell you from the skin tone
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
Hmm.
I can tell you, let's not talk about when you open a business and they decide to break up the sidewalk in front of your entrance and leave it that way for months. Or when they suddenly decide to introduce a new ordinance that's going to make it impossible for you to actually allow people in your building.
Hmm.
And it's interesting how it only happens to one build, not the building to the left and not the building to the
Yeah.
right. And guess what the difference is?
Yeah, I get it. I know exactly what you're talking about, and that was crazy, travesty. And it's the front entrance, and it's also a walkway for many other businesses. So just poor planning and
We can't call it. We can't keep saying poor planning.
yeah.
We can't, because why? It happens there. The ordinance shift happens, and it just happens to that one odd building. Really,
Mhm.
You do that for Juneteenth, and that's not poor planning and laziness. This is very deliberate.
Hmm.
This is clearly very deliberate, very clear message being sent. It does not. It lines up with the push for gentrification that's going on in the city. It all lines up, but gentrification is modern day colonization.
Mhm.
Colonization is part of white supremacy. This is something that Mitchell has represented since he first ran, and made very little secret of. The thing was, he blindsided people because nobody expects that from.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the what the latest is the no bid, and it's I'm just glad that there's some other folks fighting.
Oh yeah.
Now, how many times around here is just the same old people, same old community fighting, and we never got any support.
Well, the
And,
people who stood behind a lot of his other stupidity now are recognized, are now being affected by that. So they're standing up. But it's kind of like, yeah, problem is you're part of the problem.
yeah,
You're part of why no bid even has legs to stand on, is because this was to your benefit. So you turned a blind eye to all the other stuff, and now all of a sudden, they're like Candace Owens.
hmm
Now all of a sudden, Candace Owens is of no value to them. So now she wants, oh, I had the best interest of black people.
yeah,
And now I'm going to say things helpful to black people. That's what a lot of the no bid bandwagon jumping is to.
hmm
These are the Candace Owens who now suddenly discovered, oh, means me too.
and I don't know why we have to. The community, our history has always shown this is a pattern of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You get someone that's going to be that token, going to be that voice. I'm not saying it; she's saying it, and that's what Candace found out. And that's the same thing with the city. That we should know better, and we continually don't know better, or we're dumb, deaf, and blind. And
It's an interesting divide that's been ingrained in us, where some of us believe the more we're like them, the more they're like us.
Mhm.
And what happens is, no, the more we're like them, the more we undermine ourselves, because I'm not looking at you like my brother. I'm looking at you the way he taught me to look at you. Because if
Yeah.
I look at you the way he looks at you, now he's going to think I'm like him.
Mhm.
And it's not. It's going to be, okay, now I've got him turned against him. So now I've got him to control him, and I don't have to worry about doing it.
I agree.
And, so this is what we do. The city concert series, it went from one token brown face to none.
Mm. Yep.
There is not a single black act, to my understanding.
Yep.
I could be wrong.
I haven't reviewed it, but
as I
take
go
you
through
for
the
your
list,
word.
It's white people who sing soul music
Hmm.
and rock. And last year the lone black face was Candida Rose. They didn't even put her on this year. And we know who does the booking for that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we know who her henchmen are. Her henchmen look like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is, yeah, instead of people just looking at, well, why are we giving this person all this power? This person said, I have this power. And the brown faces were like, whoa, she has this power.
Hmm.
When the brown faces could very easily be like, yeah, the hell with you.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and and of course, she plays, now we're getting to see her true colors right along with the person who hired her.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he puts her in place.
It's amazing. I mean, we're gonna have to revisit this because we definitely
and the
it's
thing is, I can tell you, the overseer is getting sloppy.
Yeah.
Because she runs her mouth, and she runs her mouth about us.
Hmm.
She runs her mouth, and it's sort of like, it's interesting because now all of a sudden she doesn't want to book people who she sees work with us.
Yeah.
And but what's happening is they're getting bookings anyway. They're just not booking with her because nobody's going to her.
Hmm. Yeah.
You don't realize that if that your power base sometimes can wipe you out.
So true. Wipe you out with someone in place too.
Yeah.
Ready and willing.
This is it.
Man. Yeah, we got to revisit this. We definitely have to. Because we're not going to change, right? we're not going to change what we're doing. We're not going to change how we see things. If it's true, we stay on a lot of factual things, you and I think that, we people don't want to wake up the sleeping giant, right?
Mm.
And I'm half asleep. I'm taking a nap, but it goes with you too. You're watching, you're observing, recording like anything else. And so when they do wake us up,
Mm.
you know what they're gonna say? Oh man, what did I do now?
Well, this is it.
Hmm.
It's the funny thing of paying attention. I've been invited to Diddy parties. I've never been. I never went.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah.
gotten a pass.
Yeah, yeah.
When
Yeah.
you look at layers, when you look at the layers, again, it's the glitz versus the substance.
Hmm. Yeah,
When you look at the layers,
true. It's I don't know. I'm with you, man. I'm right behind you. I'm ready to do what we have to. And but
it's like it's the funny thing of one of the things I'm looking to do, get taken care of in the next couple of months is I want to get a CDL license.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
I've had more people say, "You're a professor. Why would you get a CDL license?" And I'm like, "Why not?"
Yeah. Why not? We're ready for you.
Yeah.
When you want to do that, let me know. You could do it from a couple of places. You can do it from the powers to be at WNB1 Radio, and they could set you up. So,
That'll work.
J&J Logistics is ready for you. So, let me know, and we'll definitely get you signed up for that.
Yeah,
And
that'd be awesome.
so, all right. Well, everyone, this is Poetic Conversations on WNB1 Radio. We meet up the very first Tuesday every month. And based on this superstar schedule, he may be here or may not be, but I don't get in the way of his money. I definitely don't get in the way of his money because I'm very proud, and I'd rather see him on the stage and doing his thing. And so, all right. You want to close with anything? You have anything to say?
Let's have some fun since I got this thing in my lap.
All right. Yeah. Don't let that go to waste, man.
Actually, I'm just gonna jam. You're gonna do some poetry for me.
All right. Of my own. Walking in the sunshine in life may be as easy as opening your eyes as you awake and absorb the initial phase of praise that the sun has risen. The rise and fall of the sun may be with the greatest sunshine or the cloudiest day, but the truest sunshine is how you walk throughout the day. Walking in sunshine is perceived to be a walk with a horizon of the sun. I walk and continue to walk with a great admiration for the one person who is walking in sunshine with me. Day to day, I am walking with an amazing person who was truly made for me. This is the sunshine I do see. Love it. My man, the funky professor.
All right, my brother Charlie.
All right, man. Love it. Love it.
So that's been another poetic conversation.
Yes. Yes. All right, y'all. We will see you. Him and I will see you. Well, we're always on social media, so you're gonna see us every single day. But we'll be back next month with poetic conversations, and maybe we'll have a guest. But this is us on WNB1 Radio. Don't forget to add WNB1 Radio to your devices, Apple or Android, and also go to the site, WNB1.com, and see all the different shows that we have, from the Really Charlie podcast to Mags in the Morning. We also have Frequency Live, Luxury Tax, Straight to the Point Sports Talk, and let's see, that's about it. And a whole lot of hip hop music, 24 hours, 7 days out of the week. All right, y'all. I'll see you later.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.